All right, thanks for logging on to StateChamps.tv. It is freezing out here at Orchard Lake St. Mary's as we're getting ready for the contest that I'm sure by the time you're watching this has already been played. But the bottom line is this is the OT with Markowski. My name is Lauren Plant, host of State Champs, and this beanie-wearing fellow is the Detroit News' Tom Markowski. Now, first off, we wanted to get out talking about Friday to go and see Indomitian Sioux and Javid Best and the Lions. They were donating equipment to the Detroit Douglas football team. You made it out there, and boy, it seems like they had to wait around for a while.
Well, the Douglas team was a little late showing up in their bus, an hour late, but they got it done. Sue and Javid Best were there presenting the gifts, 36 pairs of cleats for the kids, nice. Plus about a dozen helmets and other equipment. They really did a good job. They had other shoulder pads donated by Birmingham Brother Rice was one school, Plymouth High was another, Don Maxey Ford on Jefferson Avenue in Detroit, and a few others. Quicken Loans donated $5,000 to the program. So a lot of people stepped up on this one, and they were all smiles today, Douglas. Unfortunately, they couldn't practice this week.
Right.
They had no equipment. They couldn't hit. All they could do was work out in a weight room and really just jog through their plays.
Yeah. Right.
So that was a tough week for them. They made it through it okay. They should have fine equipment for the rest of the season, so everything's fine now.
I'm sure they'll have lockdown on that stuff for the rest of the season.
We'll see.
Let's hope so.
Hope for the best.
Absolutely. All right, you want to talk about coaching this week. You've been kind of talking to a lot of them again about philosophies and things like that. So explain where you're coming from.
Well, there are a lot of coaches and why they get into the business, and fans just see what the final score is and who scored the winning touchdown. But really the most important part of coaching is working with the young men that they work with day in and day out, building character. You know, when you win with class. When you lose with class. And I think that's a big part of playing high school football. It's not really the final score. And of course the media, we like to play up. We're state champs.
That's right.
We want to know who's the best in each of the divisions, in all the classes, and all the different sports. But it's also the underlying theme in all this is why the coaches get involved, and it's an extension coaching of teaching in the classroom. You have to teach examples out here, how to live your life, how to work with others. If things aren't going right for you, you got to suck it up and get through it. Tomorrow's another day. Maybe tomorrow's going to be a better day. I just think too much is placed on winning and losing. Granted, you look at somebody that's 1-8 or 2-7, but they might have had a good season off the field. They might have had fun playing football. They might have gotten along well with their teammates. They might have went to, movies together, had pizza parties together and grown closer together. And granted, if they only won 2 games, well, they won 2 games. They were able to celebrate that. So I think a lot too much is made of the wins and losses.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Well, speaking of wins and losses, next week is going to be a big week in high school football. We've been counting down, this week 7 of the football season, so talk about it.
Well, it's too bad, as a sports writer, I can't schedule these games myself. I would have moved some of these games off this Friday night because I obviously can't go to all of them. I'd love to go watch Utica Eisenhower play Dakota. Dakota's getting better and better. Eisenhower took a shot to the gut the other week from Port Huron, lost in double overtime. That game, they both should be 5-1 going in that game. Should be a heck of a game. This Thursday night, we get a treat. We get to watch 2 games on night this week. It's supposed to be nicer weather this week.
Yeah.
But we get Walled Lake Western and Walled Lake Central. Always a great game. This year it's going to be even more special, definitely for first place. And probably down the line, the winner of that game might get home field advantage in the state playoffs, which is always a key thing.
Absolutely.
But really the big ones, I think, is obviously Catholic Central and Brother Rice, which is one of the greatest rivalries in all of high school sports. But I think this year, the game of the year has got to be Plymouth and Canton.
It's got to be.
And the game is hosted by Plymouth. So they're the home team, but I'm not sure that really matters in the situation that's in. But we think of all the ramifications, what happened last year with Canton winning 36-0 during the regular season, then getting upset in the second round of the playoffs, and Plymouth going on to the Ford Field of state championship game. And I'm sure Canton's thinking, we should have been there.
Absolutely.
So now we have the rematch again, and who knows? It's very likely they will meet in the state playoffs unless an upset happens down
Absolutely.
the road.
So you know that we will both be there for that one. State champs, of course, will be covering that one as our main event. And also, of course, Tom and I will be talking about it on the radio. That's right. If you don't know, we do host a weekly Friday night high school radio show on WDFN 1130 AM. So make sure you check that out. It's 10 to midnight every Friday night. So check it out. And we put the podcast of that program right here on the State Champs website. So again, we're going to get out of the cold. We'll see you next week.